Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and thanks for clicking on the video. Well, after moving from traditional leather hiking boots to the more modern trail runner type shoes, boots last year, and going through 3 pairs of Hoka and a couple of pairs of Ultra, I thought it was time to just do a little review on my Hokas, which I've used quite extensively here in Mallorca. As you'll probably imagine, we don't get a lot of rain here, but the terrain is very rocky, so the cushioning of the EVA soles have been very nice to use out on the trail. So let's have a look. So let's kick off with the Speedgoat 4 Wide. So I've used this Speedgoat 4 quite extensively in the mountains of Mallorca during the last 12 months. You probably see the shoes had quite reasonable use. It's starting to wear a little bit on the sides of the sole there. This is the wide version, as I have very wide feet, a bit like a platypus, unfortunately. But it's been a very comfortable trail shoe, to be honest. When your foot is inside this Speedgoat 4, as you probably see if you look at my other review videos, it just doesn't slip around. It's quite phenomenal how I've gone up a size to give myself some room in the toe box area so my toe isn't hitting the front when I do the descents. But notwithstanding the fact that I've increased the size of the shoe to allow for that, my foot just doesn't slip around inside of this shoe. So this is a great shoe for the warmer weather. It's not waterproof. I have been out in the rain before and your feet do get wet, of course, because it's not waterproof. But I think it doesn't really matter whether you've got leather boots or Gore-Tex liners. If you are out in heavy rain for hours and hours, your feet eventually get damp. So the sole of the Speedgoat 4 is a Vibram. And as you can probably see, it's got directional lugs here for ascent and descent. And it's the same here on the part of the heel. You've got directional lugs. So I've actually used this shoe on numerous different surfaces, and I have rarely lost grip on rock, on rubble, on all kinds of terrain. This shoe has been phenomenal with regards to grip. I can stand on a transverse rock ledge like that and have full confidence that these shoes are not going to slip. So that's the Hoka Speedgoat 4. It's a really great shoe. Obviously, when you buy this type of shoe, it's got a lifespan. It's not going to last forever like a pair of leather hiking boots that you can re-sole. So as it wears out, it's just a case of move it onto the bin and replace it. But overall, that is a fantastic shoe for warmer weather and for long distance trails. I don't really think you can get much better comfort wise. So that's the Speedgoat 4. Let's have a look at the Sky Tower now. So here we've got the Sky Tower, also made by Hoka. It's very similar to the Speedgoat 4. It doesn't come in a wide size, but that doesn't really matter if you've got wide platypus feet like me, because the forefoot area is actually really wide on this boot. If you look at my other videos comparing this to the Kaha, you will see the difference in the footbed, that the forefoot area is much wider. So the Sky Tower is more of an ankle boot, but it does have double lace locks there at the top to secure it. It's a fabric upper. It's got some rubber protection around the boot, and it's got a Vibram sole. You can see there, that's the sole. And it also does have some degree of directional grip on the sole, but I wouldn't say as much as the Speedgoat 4. So I've used these again quite extensively here in Mallorca, on rocky terrain, on rubble, on some quite steep traverses of rocks and mountains, and very similar to the Speedgoat 4, you can stand on the side of a rock ledge, you can ascend and descend with the confidence that this sole is going to really stick. So I haven't really had any occasions where the sole has slipped on a rock or on whatever the ground was at the time. So it's a really comfortable boot, this. If you watch my other video, I've just tried it now with a gel insert, which has really improved the feel inside the boot. So you can probably see there, look, there's starting to get a little bit of wear on it there now, where that's peeling off. A little bit of damage from a rock on the side there, but quite a durable boot. But again, like the Speedgoat 4, they're not really a boot which could be compared with a leather boot, which you might want to keep for a long time and get resoled. They are more of a boot which has a serviceable lifetime, and when it gets to the end of that lifespan, you need to just move it on and replace it. So really happy with it. It's got a Gore-Tex liner. As I said before, there's not many boots with a Gore-Tex liner, in my opinion, whether it be leather or with a fabric upper, that keep your feet bone dry hour after hour walking in the rain. I think you ultimately end up with damp feet, whether it be penetration through the Gore-Tex liner or entry from the top of the boot. That's my experience. So there we go. That is the Hoka Sky Tower. Now let's have a look at the Kaha. So here we have the Kaha, also made by Hoka. Very similar design to the Sky Tower and the Speedgoat 4 with regards to the very thick EVA sole. Now the Kaha is actually an all leather upper with some fabric up that central part there. So it's quite a durable boot, the Kaha. I would say it's got a little bit more durability than the Sky Tower, although the leather is quite a light gauge leather. These boots haven't taken any break-in period. You can wear them straight out of the box. So the sole again is actually, it's more similar, the sole on the Kaha, to the Speedgoat 4. Let me just show you. There. More similar to the Speedgoat 4 than the Sky Tower. And again, just like the Speedgoat 4 and the Sky Tower, I've stood on rock traverses. I've gone down some really steep descents, like, you know, quite steep. No trekking poles. I don't really use trekking poles, and I've got full confidence in the grip on the bottom. I don't think I've ever had these boots slip, just in, you know, very consistent with the Sky Tower and the Speedgoat 4. So a really good grippy sole there. You can see there's not a lot of wear on these. I have used these quite a lot for some quite long days. Differences with the Sky Tower is they've got a higher ankle area here. They've got the double lace locks just the same, but I think the overall difference is a slightly higher ankle, and it's an all leather boot, whereas the Sky Tower is more of a man-made upper. So the only criticism I have with these boots compared to the Sky Tower, which If you look at my other video, the comparison, someone else had exactly the same problem, is where this sole comes up here, it creates a little bit of a pressure point on the inside, and I get a longitudinal, very strange blister along the inside of my heel. And another one of my viewers had exactly the same problem and had to return the Kahas for that reason. So I did do quite a long day with these a couple of weeks ago, about 8 or 10 kilometers over some really rough terrain. They were fine, but when I got back, I did have the start of a blister along that heel area. So that is one potential disadvantage for me with the Kaha. So guys, in summary, which Hoka is the best? Well, that depends on you, I guess, and where you're using them and your particular needs. I have tested the Sky Tower and the Kaha in the same river crossing on 2 weekends, and there is no doubt that the Kaha has more water resistance than the Sky Tower. But I do feel that is probably attributable to the fact that this is an all leather boot and you can wax it or put some dubbing on it to repel the water, whereas the Sky Tower, with it being a fabric upper, it just gets wet, even though both boats have got the Gore-Tex liner. So the Hoka has got a little bit more water resistance, or it will repel the water a little bit longer before you get that damp foot feel. Overall, if it's a summer, I would use the Speedgoat 4, fantastic summer shoe. Once you get into the warmer temperatures, your feet are going to breathe a bit more. There's not the Gore-Tex liner to cause the condensation inside the boot, even though we all know Gore-Tex is meant to breathe, but in my opinion it doesn't really breathe very well in boots. So no doubt about it, the Speedgoat 4 are the best shoe out of this range for summer use. You may want to use it year round if you don't mind your feet getting wet, that's your decision. But between the Kaha and the Sky Tower, I'd have to choose the Sky Tower, because these boots just fit my feet, my foot shape perfectly. I can walk all day in these, especially now I've got these new footbeds. They are just a fantastic boot for my foot shape. So it would have to be the Sky Tower between the Hoka, Kaha and the Sky Tower. If I was in a position where I had to only choose one pair out of the three, again, I would choose the Sky Tower. It's very similar to the Speedgoat. The only difference is it's got a Gore-Tex liner, which might be a little bit hot in the summer, but you've got this added support around your ankle and it fits me like a glove. So if I had to choose one out of the three, I would go for the Sky Tower. Guys, I hope this little comparison video has been good if you're considering a pair of Hokas. If you like the channel, don't forget to click and subscribe. Stay safe.